Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a stinger/slide transition. This is something you can use in OBS or Streamlabs completely live during your live stream. Basically, it's something to make your live stream look extremely professional and extremely smooth while transitioning to another scene. Basically, an example of it is right now. And it just makes it look so smooth and so nice. And today in the video, I'm going to be teaching you how to do it. If you guys do enjoy, please do like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Editing Snow, out. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is go to New Composition, and then name the composition anything you want. I'm going to call it Stinger Tutorial. And then I'm going to go to Preset, make sure it's on Custom, and then go to make sure it's on whatever you are streaming on OBS and Streamlabs. So if it's 1920 by 1080, it's 1920 over here, and then 1080 right here. If it's 1600 by 900, then it's the same thing. So now that we got out of the way, make sure pixel aspect ratio is on square pixels. Make sure frame rate is on 60 or whatever you are recording at. Make sure your resolution is full. Make sure the start time code is on 0, and make sure the duration is on 0000200. So basically 2 seconds. And the background color doesn't actually matter. So you want to press OK, and then it'll look a little bit something like this, or it'll have a black square in the middle. So what you want to do is go over here to this tick option, and you want to tick it and toggle transparent grid. If that's already default, leave it as it is. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is we're going to make sure that everything is fine. So we're first going to go to Graph Editor, and it'll look something like this. Or, yeah, it'll look a little bit something like this. You want to right click it and make sure it's on Edit Speed Graph. Now that it's on that, you want to go back by clicking Graph Editor, and then you can start with the actual tutorial. So you want to go to the rectangle tool right here, or press Q, and then you want to make the fill anything you want it to be. So for example, if I want it to be white, I'm going to make it white and then press OK. For this example, I'm going to try to be recreating my transition. So I'm going to be going to a lighter shade of red, and then a darker shade of red, and then black. Those will be my 3 colors. So I'm going to press OK, and then I'm just going to make a square just like this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my shape layer, press R, and then make sure my rotation is on -30. Now that my rotation is on -30, I want to change my rectangle to look and make sure that it actually goes on. So I'm going to change it to something a little bit like this, so it goes like this. As you can see, it's a little bit dull by itself, so we're going to add some more colors after. So right now we are going to go to P, so we're just going to press P once we're on the shape layer 1, and then we're going to go to the 1 minute mark and go a few ticks behind. And then right here I'm going to press the clock, so it'll take a timestamp, and this is where your cover will be. I will go a few ticks after that, right here, and then press another timestamp with this, and it'll create another keyframe. Next, I'm going to go to the start and press on a keyframe when it is fully done. Make sure to hold shift so it stays on the y-axis just like this. And then make sure it's barely out, and let go. Now it should look a little bit something like this. As you can see, it's a pretty static motion, so I'm going to simply go over here. I'm going to go to the end, and then I'm going to go a few ticks back around right here. And then I'm going to go like this, hold shift again so it's on the y-axis, and make sure it is a little bit apart, and you're done. Now that you've done that, you're going to want to go right here, and you're going to want to go and press F9. Now that you've pressed F9, you're going to want to go to your graph editor, as you've just added some easy ease. Basically what easy is it starts slow and then it ramps up and then it slows down again. What we want to do right here is we're going to edit it so it looks a bit smoother. As you can see right now, there's not really a difference, but if we go to graph editor, you can see that right here you want to drag the first dot to the middle dot, and it creates this sort of slow and then ramps up and then slows down. Now you can clearly see a difference with how it starts, and it looks a lot better at the start. Then we're going to do the exact same thing with the next two keyframes, so we're going to highlight them, and then we're going to press F9, adding some easy ease, and then we're going to go to Graph Editor, and we're going to select the first dot and bring it to the middle, and there we go. Now we have two easy ease, and it looks a lot better. As you can see, it already makes it look amazing, and if you want to, you can keep it like this, but I definitely wouldn't. So the next thing we want to do is we want to go to shape layer, and then we're going to want to go to edit, and then we're going to want to go to duplicate. Now that we have that, you can see that it's you can't actually see the other one because it's simply on top and it's exactly the same. So we're going to want to press this down arrow to close this, and then press P on the shape layer 2. Then I'm going to rename the colors. So I can rename this red, and then I can rename this dark red. Now that I've renamed both, I'm going to go to position, and then I'm going to highlight the first two, and then I'm going to go to this one to make sure that I'm still on it. And then I'm going to take this and it'll drag a little bit behind just like so. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing for the two, and then I'm going to go to the last keyframe, and then I'm going to change this to around there and make sure you have around the same gap. Now that you've done that, you want to go to your other layer and change the color to whatever you want it to be. So I'm going to change it to this and see how it looks. Now as you can see, the color is very dark, so I'm going to lighten up a bit and I am done. Then I'm going to duplicate this layer once again, and now I'm going to rename this to the color that I want. So I'm going to make it black. I may make it a bit gray, not black. Then I'm going to rename this to black. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing, so I will do the arrow, put this down arrow, press P, so it shows the position. I will highlight the two first keyframes. I will go to right here, and then I'm going to make sure that it has more of a gap. So this one, I'm going to make a larger gap, so it'll look a little bit something like that. Then I'm going to highlight these, and then go to the end keyframe, and then do the exact same gap. So just to make sure that it's around the same gap. Yeah. Alright, so now look at it back, and you'll see that it already looks way, way better. Now that you've done that, I'm actually going to put a logo inside. And as I add the logo, you'll see that it'll look completely fine and look extremely finished. So I'm going to drag the logo to the composition folder, and then I'm going to drag this onto the top layer. Then what you're going to want to do is duplicate this black layer right here, or whatever your third layer is. Then you're going to drag this to the top. Then most likely it is going to look like this, and you want to press F4 so it'll show you this track matte option. Then on your logo you want to go to the track matte, and you want to set it to alpha matte black 2, or whatever your layer is. Then as you can see, the logo is sticking to the black 2. So what you will see is when the white comes up, it'll start showing the logo, and then as it goes, you'll see it go. So we are actually going to add a sort of growth onto the logo, so it's just not frozen there. So we're going to go to the logo, press S. So just before it starts, I'm going to add a keyframe right here, and I'm going to make this 75%. And then I'm going to go just as it ends, and make it let's say 90%. So as you can see, it has a sort of growing factor. I feel like that's a bit too fast. So I'm going to edit this value and make this 85%. So it adds this grow factor to it, and it makes it just look amazing and super smooth. And then what you want to do is you want to find a sound effect. And what you're going to do is you're going to go here, file, and then just find your sound effect. So I'm going to use this ES fireball whoosh thing. I just found it on the internet. Just look up for like fireball whoosh or like anything like that that sounds, you know, good. And then you want to go to import, and then you just want to bring it all the way down here. And then what you want to do is go to the down arrow, then you want to go to the down arrow for audio, and then go to waveform, and then it'll show you this waveform sort of thing like this. So what I'm gonna do is just make sure. Alright, so that sounds a bit loud to me, so I'm going to go to audio levels and turn this down to about 10, or -10, sorry. And then, as I do that, I am done. And let's get to the export. Alright, so you guys are going to have to go to the link in the description, and then you're going to have to click on the WebM codec link. And then you're just going to want to press on the download windows, and on the download windows option in the website. And then once you do that, you're probably going to have to save your After Effects project and then relaunch After Effects, and then it'll be there. And then after you've done that, you want to head to composition, and then you want to press on add to Adobe Media Encoder Q. And if you do not see this option, it is probably because you don't have Adobe Media Encoder downloaded, and you do want to do that. So after you download that, just restart once again, and then press on add to Adobe Media Encoder Q. So after you press it, you're going to see this media encoder option, and basically it'll open this right here. Alright, so you're going to want to, so what you're going to want to do is click on, if this says AVI, click on AVI, or whatever is right here, you're going to want to click on it. You're going to want to wait for this dynamic link server to finish. And then you're going to want to, change the format down to WebM. Stinger tutorial works for me if you want to, but once you've done that, just make the name what you want right here, and then just press. Make sure you have both export video and export audio checked, because that is extremely important. And then go down to image settings, make sure you have the width and the height correct. And then once you've done that, make sure your pixel aspect ratio is on 1.0. Make sure your fill type is on none. Make sure the frame rate is on 60. And then make sure the method is on constant quality. The codec on VP9. And the quality will depend on what you make it on. So like if you have a sort of laggy computer, then you want to have your quality on 50, maybe less, but I'm going to set mine to 65 as it doesn't really create a big change. As you can see, as the estimated file size right here, it says 6 MB. I'm going to bring that down to 5 MB. Alright, so 59 is 5 MB, so I'm going to keep it on 5 MB. And then once you do that, you're going to want to, and then the most important option out of everything is you want to make sure that include alpha channel is checked. I cannot stress about how many people don't check this, but you want to stress, you don't want to stress, you want to check include alpha channel, and once you do that, you'll be good. And then go ahead and check use maximum render quality. And then once you're done that, you have finished everything, and you don't need to do anything else, so you just need to press OK. Then once you're ready to queue up and render it, you're going to want to press start queue or enter. Now that you've done that, this is a reasonably fast render queue, so you're just going to want to go ahead and wait for that to finish, and once you're done the entire thing, it's just going to leap forward, and yeah, it really shouldn't take that long. Alright, after that's done, you're going to want to... Alright, so once you're done that, you're going to want to open your Streamlabs OBS, and then you're going to want to go to Edit Scene Transitions. I already have it, but you're going to want to press add transition, and you're going to want to go to stinger, and you're going to want to make the duration 2000, and the transit point is at half, so we're going to make that 1000. Then we're going to look for the video file, and I saved mine under documents, then frames, and then I went to untitled project aim, and then you're going to want to find your stinger, and then you're going to want to make sure that this is on monitor and output, and then you're going to want to press done. Once you've done that, you're going to want to press done, and there you go. You have finished, and I'm pretty sure it's reasonably the same on OBS. You can switch throughout, and it's an automatic transition just like this, and there we go. If you guys did enjoy this video, please do leave a like. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, and peace.